Hi! Hope y'all are doing well. So this is my first time-lapse video. And this video is all about the complete process of how I work my way out to create an environmental illustration. So, let's not waste any more time and be going on with the video. Starting off with sketching. Here, I am using the rough pencil tool to make up the poses and also basic shape of the waves and the main idea of what my illustration is gonna look like. I am not really focusing on the waves because I am gonna fix them up while coloring them, so that it looks quite close to those real waves that we see in the beach. I think adding a couple of seagulls will fill up the blank space at the top right, so let's do that too. Finally, the sketching part is done. Now, let's get on to the line art. Here, I'm using the darker pencil to do the line art, even though most of the artists I know uses texture pen or the round brush with sensitivity on. Making the lines thick on the areas where light is not gonna hit directly makes the line art pop up more. On the other hand, adding thin lines on the hair makes it a bit real rather than making it look like a big chunk of hair. Oh wait, I almost forgot to tell you what software I use. I mainly use Clip Studio Paint, but sometimes I also prefer to use Photoshop as an alternative. Yeah, I think you have already noticed I struggle a lot while drawing the hands and the fingers. I should probably practice more on drawing hands. We are almost done with the line art. The wave are not that important for the line art, so I am just gonna scribble whatever I feel like. The sky and the birds are just as same as the waves. I am gonna work on that later. There you go, we have finished up the line art. Let's move on to coloring. Here, I am just adding up the basic colors one by one on top of each other and then using the motion blur to partially blending them together. After that, I'm using the fingertip tool to give it a wavy look, which also causes it to blend together too. Now let's move on to the background, which is the sky, so that it makes it easier to draw the white part of the wave later. Not much to do for the clouds. Just gotta scribble them up and add shades in the opposite side of the light source with blue or purple color. We can now draw the splashing waters of the wave. I blurred out the clouds a little bit so that the focus of the illustration stays on the wave. After adding all the splashes of water, I'm gonna blur it out a little with Gaussian blur filter, which you can find in files, then go to blur. Gonna give a little hint of blue color to the splashing water for the shading. After that, I'm gonna add some strokes of white and deep blue line in the water below the splash and make it a bit darker to show the depth and difference between both of them. Gonna make it a bit more darker with blue to make it more realistic. Now, let's start with coloring the characters. At first, we are gonna add all the flat colors of the character. Here I am using orange color for the dress with light yellow for giving a bit of pattern and design to it. After that, keeping in mind where the light source is, we are gonna add flat shadings. Be careful not to use black color for shading, rather use a deeper tone of the same color, just how I used maroon color with about 40 to 60% opacity to shade over the orange dress. Let's do the same with the other character as well. I am gonna make the surfboard look like a shark and give a leafy pattern to his shorts to make it look like they are on a vacation on the beach. That would do it, right? Again, just as the other one, adding shades with a deeper tone. Coming back to the girl, we are gonna use the soft airbrush tool to add gradient over them to create depth between the shading. I am also gonna erase a bit of the line art in the parts where the light source hits the line directly. Again, doing same as the other one. Is the video helping you understand the fundamentals of creating the illustration? And, are you enjoying the video too? If yes, do support and encourage me to continue with what I am doing. Moreover, for any suggestion or help, feel free to find me on my social media. Now let's go on with a few adjustments and finishing touches like adding splash of water on her feet as she is running on water, as well as giving a bit of shading on water as he is blocking the light. Now let's add water droplets on their body and clothing because they are on the water. Doing the same on her too. I am not quite satisfied with the shading of the water, so I am gonna make a few adjustments on it too by adding more highlights and shadings on it. That should be it. Wait, a few adjustments on the clouds too. Okay, now it's time to go for the seagulls. Nothing much to do here, same as all the things. First the sketching, then line art, and lastly the coloring and shadings. We are almost at the end, just one more thing is left to do, which is the highlights and ambience lighting. Finally, our illustration is done.